Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Mana Cave. My name is Ed.
My name's Travis.
And today we are kicking off a new season of the Planeswalker Deck Showdown. Even though we haven't finished the third season, we're going to get to that eventually. Don't you worry. But there are new Planeswalker decks with the newest expansion, Throne of Eldraine. Travis, who are you playing?
Rowan. No, I know who it is. It was the Planeswalker introduced in the Battle Bond.
Yes, yeah, which I didn't realize until I saw the preview card, or the I guess the spoiled card, or the whatever card sort of thing, that when they showed the artwork with her and her brother.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I was like, oh, that's her. But whereas I'd seen her artwork months leading up to the set release, and I never put those pieces together. So I don't know if I just didn't hear about it or if it wasn't mentioned or whatever. But yeah, I was surprised about that. So
it's a red white knights deck. I actually watched your video, most of the video you did, so I'm more familiar with the cards in this. And it's I don't think it's got a great shot against your deck. I tell you, I mean, first strike is gonna save my Tukas
a
couple times, but I think in the end, I think your deck is actually a nice looking deck, actually.
Considering it's blue, and usually blue gets sort of the weaker side of the power scale, Oko's deck, so Oko the Trickster's deck, is seems pretty good.
Yeah.
Seems pretty good based on just the overview that I did. So both the overviews are up. If you're watching this right now, they've been up probably for about a week, maybe a little bit less for Oko's. But
Oko
so you can,
the Combat Trickster, I think.
Yes, yeah, exactly, yeah. This deck really seems like it could have some legs. Now, whether or not it's going to be the best blue Planeswalker deck they ever come out with, I don't know, because Moo's deck from M20, right now, that's got my vote for that. This is close, but we're going to see how it plays out, because I've been wrong before, and your deck could end up just decimating this one. So
it could.
Now, one other thing, as you guys can see, I don't know why I'm pointing up. I'm pointing up to the camera, the ceiling camera. We've got our On an Adventure tokens set aside here. This is where if we cast any of the new adventure cards, we're going to place the card there in sort of a exile state, waiting to be cast as a creature. So we're going to go over how to cast those if we do end up casting them. So, which we probably will, because there's a few in each of these decks.
Yeah.
So Travis, now we rolled to see who goes first off camera, which is something we haven't done before. So we actually got to do the actual legal rules.
Yeah. Apparently.
So I won the roll, and I decided that I'm going to play first, and then we drew our opening hands. So as we were talking, the hands would have been displayed on the screen, so you guys know our opening hands were. Neither of us mulliganed.
No question about mulligan. Neither of us were even all that.
No, I mean, mine is sort of questionable to an extent, but I think people can understand exactly why I would keep this hand, because I think it's possible, but maybe I'm going to be wrong. But this is best 2 out of 3, so even if I am horribly, horribly wrong, we'll have a shot at redemption. But since I won the roll and chose to go first, I get to play first, unless you have something you'd like to say before we begin.
Leyline of... I'm not even sure when you would have to do that.
Oh, isn't it Once Upon a Time? Isn't that the card where you get to play it from your hand at the very beginning if you have it in your opening hand for nothing?
I've heard of the card, but I heard of the card. I couldn't tell you what it did and when you play it.
Yeah, it's a green card, so I doubt you'd have it in your red-white deck. But as far as I know, and I could be wrong in this, but it's going to be on screen, because, I got to make more work for myself and find that card.
I help.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. But if you have it in your opening hand, you can cast it for free, and you can look at the top 5 cards of your library, and then put a creature or land card, reveal it, put a creature or land card into your hand. I think that's how that one works. I'm not entirely sure. And the set's still new to us. As of this recording, so... And
I should specify, when I say I help, I mean I help make work for you. That's where my help stops.
It used to be worse back in the day, when both of us had sort of just a tentative grasp on the new sets. Yeah. And we were like, what's the name of that card? And we'd give the vaguest description, realizing afterwards in editing that we'd have to search for the card that we mean. So yeah. Anyways, enough chatting.
Yeah.
Enough chatting, because I already showed the graphic that said the game starts here, and that would have been like 8 minutes ago. So... I'm going to play a forest and pass the turn to you.
I'll draw. I'm going to play a mountain, and I'm tap that mountain for the only one drop, I think. The Weaselback Redcap.
Ooh.
It is a 1/1 Goblin Knight, and on a weasel.
That sounds like a question.
Yeah, well, a Goblin Knight. I mean, they exist. He has a nice little mana sink, though. For 1 red and 1 of anything, I can pump him at +2/+0.
Nice.
I don't have to tap or anything like that for that, so I can... Obviously, why would you really want to tap that? Unless you have Vigilance or something, but no haste.
No haste. Can't have everything, Travis. You can't have everything.
You should. It's back to you, though.
Back to me? Okay. Alrighty. Well, I'm going to play an island, and then I'm going to tap for 2, including a blue and a green, and cast the Marleaf Pixie. It's a 2/2 flyer, and I can tap it for either green or blue mana.
I like that card.
I like this card as well, too. I'm actually...
Ramp in that deck, too.
Yeah.
Like, card draw, ramp, combat spell. No counters, like no counter spell, but...
You know what? It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. For those of you who don't know, someone on Twitter actually contacted me. His name's going to be appearing on screen right now because I forget. I think it was...
You need a production assistant.
Trickster? Or Trixie? Something like that. Trickster. I think it was Trickster. I apologize. Your name's on screen, and it's not that I don't appreciate you. I can picture your profile picture more than I can picture the name. Sorry about that. But mentioned to me that Planeswalker decks are not going to be a thing after the Theros set. And so I looked into it, and it turns out, after Theros, they're going to switch it out with some other product. Except when it comes to, I think, the core sets, they're still going to release more Planeswalker decks. So this 4th season of the Planeswalker Deck Showdown should still be able to continue. There may be a bit of delay between this particular match, then the one from Theros, and then we may have to wait till the next core set to get some more Planeswalker decks to round out the season. And after that, who knows? Maybe there won't be any more Planeswalker Deck Showdowns. They'll be replaced by something else.
Yeah.
A lot of extra talking in this episode, Travis. It's all your fault. I'm going to pass the turn out to you.
And untap. Draw yet again. Play yet again. And then go to combat yet again.
Okay.
So, yeah. It's I'm attacking with my 1/1.
There is not a universe or alternate universe or world that I will block with this creature on that creature right now. That's not happening.
So before damage, I'll pump my weasel. Technically, I'm pumping my knight, but...
What did I do with my life... Oh, there it is, my life counter. Now, you're using a different life counter than normally used. So.
Yeah, I forgot my life counter.
So
way to life counter shame me here.
Well, I didn't have one on the board, so at least you were more prepared than I was. Okay, so I'm down to 17 now.
Yeah. Big hit.
Big hit.
Big hit.
Big hits.
That's my mana. That's my turn.
That's your turn? Okay. Here we go. I'm going to play Forest.
I'm not ready for the ramp.
Y'all ready for this?
And it's even a 2/2 flyer, too.
I'm going to tap for 4.
Oy.
And I'm going to bring out the Mistford River Turtle. It is a 1/5 turtle, and whenever it attacks, another target attacking non-human creature can't be blocked this turn.
I hate that turtle.
I love it right now, for sure. I'm going to pass the turn out to you.
I think all the removal in this deck is like 3 damage based or something like that. That turtle's not going anywhere. All right. I'm going to play... I don't think it really matters. Doesn't matter. Okay.
Doesn't matter? Okay.
It doesn't matter. You know what? I'm going to just play this card because I kind of want to just play this card.
You do you.
Tap 3 for the Acclaimed Contender.
Oh, nice.
So it's the only, I think, actual card advantage card draw, whatever you call it.
Yeah.
When Acclaimed Contender enters the battlefield, if you control another knight, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a knight or equipment or legendary artifact card from among them and put it into your hand and put the rest in the bottom of your library. So I have to reveal 5 cards. Ooh, there's a weapon rack. Ooh, that's that's a knight.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's another knight.
Oh, that's your tutor card as well, too,
That's
right?
my mediocre tutor card. All right, so I have 3 legal targets here. I have the Diving Swoop 2/3 Flying Human Knight with the adventure of tap with the 2 target creatures. That's not terrible. Did it say legendary artifact or equipment or legendary artifact? I actually cannot choose that one.
I know. Sadly, no.
So I think I actually am going to choose Rowan Stalwart, which is the tutor card to get my Planeswalker.
Because you're just one off from being able to cast that, right?
This one, yes.
Yeah. And Rowan in that deck is a 5-cost Planeswalker as well, too. So if you're able to cast her tutor, you can also cast the Planeswalker the following turn, no matter what happens. So.
And then I can at least, if I can, sequence that. Sorry, my voice seems a little bit off today. If I can sequence that, I think one of her +0, whatever, is Turtle Blocker. Do 1 damage.
Oh, yeah, it makes it so that turtles can't block. That's right.
Well, not turtles in particular.
No, I think it's specifically turtles.
The turtles.
It's a very sort of narrow field of targeting there. So
I don't have the mana to pump my weasel if I chose to, so there's no point in going into combat. I kind of chose to do that. I had some other plays I could have done, but I chose that one because you know what? And I know you have some removal. So I'm like, I have a knight. I have 3 mana.
I don't recall having any removal in this deck. I don't know what you're talking about.
There's 6 aura-based removals. I don't know if there's any fight removal, but...
No.
Combat trick.
I didn't say anything about Frogify, did you? No?
Yeah.
My turn?
Your turn, yes.
Okay.
Because there's a Night Lord in this one. I'm like, I know I'm going to get a Night Lord, and then he's going to get Frogified. Because it kills the abilities, too, so he couldn't even, +1/+1 the rest of the Knights. Because he'd be a frog.
Yes. He'd be a frog, indeed, sir. I'm going to play an island, and yeah, I can't pass up the chance to do this now. I'm going to tap for 5, and I'm going to cast Keeper of Fables. It is a 4/5 cat, and whenever one or more non-human creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, draw a card. So that's good. I'm going to pass the turn out to you, though.
Yeah. And you got flyers. And you have like, what, 1 copy of that thing on your deck?
2. There are 2 copies of it in the deck. Which surprises me, because usually something that useful, they only put 1 copy of it in a Planeswalker deck. So
something that useful. I'll play a Plains. So no, I'm 2 off, because I need 5 mana to cast.
Oh, okay, sorry. I forgot you didn't have ramp. No. I have ramp, but you don't have ramp.
I'm going to go combat.
You know what? I don't want to risk my turtle or my cat, so I'm just going to... No blocks.
No blocks? Okay. So what I'm going to do, pump my weasel.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, that's it for now.
You're not going to double pump the weasel?
Nope.
Okay, so I'm taking 6.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm down to 11.
Okay. And then while you're tapped out, I am going to tap 2 mana, 1 red, 1 everything, for the Scorching Dragonfire. It's an instant, but again, I take advantage. I was obviously hoping he'd block with 1, but he's smarter than that. I might as well get rid of that guy who can,
The Maraleaf Pixie?
Yeah, I mean,
my
you've ramped twice with it, so it would have been better to do it earlier.
Yeah, it's okay.
No, it's not, because you can get to draw 2 cards next turn. But I mean, again, that's it. 4 or 5 body. The only way I'm going to get to remove it with damage base is hoping that you block.
Yeah.
Or I guess I could hold back till I block. Actually, that would have made more sense. But, I like to attack. Down to 11.
You know only war, Travis.
Well, mostly. Only war. We'll pass back to you.
Okay. So I'm going to untap. Organize my land as I do that. I'm going to pay 2, even though I can flash this out at any time. I'm going to pay 2, and I'm going to play the Fairy Vandal. So it's got flash, it's got flying, it's a 1/2, but whenever you draw your second card each turn, put a +1/+1 counter on it. I've already drawn 1 card this turn, so I'm going to move to combat.
Okay.
And I'm going to swing in with my turtle, actually, just for 1 point.
Okay. I dropped to 19. Your turtle is a non-human.
Non-human, so whenever a non-human deals combat damage to a player, I draw a card, so I'm going to get to draw an extra card. I'm going to maybe waste this, I don't know, but I'm going to Frogify. Frogify, Aura, Enchantment, Enchant Creature. Enchanted creature loses all abilities and is a blue frog creature with base power, toughness, 1/1. I'm actually going to put that on this, because even though this still has an ability, I'd rather make the 3/3 a 1/1 at this point.
Fair enough.
And then I'm going to pass the turn to you.
Sweet, sweet removal. Untap my frog and my weasel rider. Draw. The degree of mediocrity here. Okay.
Oh, but
yes, I have hit the magic 5, and I think that is my best play. I'll double check. Yeah. So I'd just like to say that this versus Angrath's Fury or Angrath Ambush, where I think it was 5 mana.
Yeah.
Destroy 3 damage to a creature and 2 to its, or destroy target creature, 3 damage to its controller.
Yeah.
2 to your planeswalker.
At instant speed, I think, as well, too. So, yeah.
I'm going to tap out for 5, 1 being red. For the Human Knight, Rowan Stalwarts. When it enters the battlefield, I may search my library and/or graveyard for a card named Rowan Fearless Sparkmage, reveal it, and put it into your hand. If you search, then shuffle.
Yeah.
So I was always curious about how far off we were. Well, I guess on the bottom, because I would put some down there.
I'll never understand, given all the ways that they can do tutor cards, why they just insist with... I mean, I know it's a Knight Tribal deck, so in that sense it helps, but I never understand why they just create a vanilla creature with that ability tacked onto it. It just... So, was it the very next card? It was the very top of the deck. Well, it's like, so basically his power was draw a card.
Yeah. Hey,
but you got it in your hand now, so.
So, Rowan, Fearless Sparkmage, is a 5 mana costed 5 loyalty planeswalker. Her +1 is up to 1 target creature gets +3/+0 and gains first strike, which is really going to be nice. -2 is she deals 1 damage to each of up to 2 target creatures. Those creatures can't block this turn. Also nice. The extremely unachievable -9, because she only has a +1, is gain control of all creatures until end of turn, untap them, they gain haste. It's just till end of turn. Like, if you have like 2 1/1s on the board, Get her at like a -9 for that. But both of her +1 and a -2 are nice abilities, actually.
Yeah.
Fortunately, she's not going to the battlefield. She goes in my hand.
We'll cut you there.
So, Rowan Stalwart should be a 5/2 with first strike, but it is currently just a 5/2.
Yeah. Just a plain old 5/2. And it doesn't get anything even if Rowan's on the board as well, too. Even that, I could understand it being a little more than what it is, but apparently not.
That's my turn, sir.
It's your whole turn?
Yeah, I'm not going to attack.
Okay.
Of course, I think you're going to attack me with your flyer to get the card, but
Alrighty.
I got a 1/1 and a 1/1 that could attack at that point, so.
I'm going to play an island. I'm going to tap 2 blue and 1 green, and I'm going to cast Charmed Sleep. It's another aura enchantment. Enchant creature. When Charmed Sleep enters the battlefield, tap enchanted creature. Enchanted creature doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. I'm going to put that on your 5/2. Even though I was not making fun of it, but I was, saying a 5/2 as a tutor card isn't the greatest. It's still a 5/2, which is bad on the board for me.
Yeah.
So
That's what I'm saying, man. Removal in that deck for a blue-green one is insane.
So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move to combat.
Move to combat, sir.
And I'm going to swing in with both the kitty cat and with the vandal.
Okay. I will block the kitty cat with my frog.
Okay.
And I'll still take 1, so we're down to 18.
Oh, sorry. Actually, there's a +1/+1 counter on this. I forgot about that. Because it triggered with the cat. So there is a +1/+1 counter on that. So yeah. So sorry about that. So you take 2. Yeah. Okay.
A block there.
Block there. Okay. So that's going to die. Frogify is going to go to my graveyard. I'm going to have done combat damage with a non-human creature. So I get to draw a card.
It's also your second.
And also, yeah, the second card draw as well. Thank you, because at least one of us is on the ball. Neither of us, we talked about this before we started recording, neither of us have had a whole lot of sleep lately. And Travis is coming right off of a shift at work to come here and do this as well, too. So one of us needs to be on the ball usually. And this time it's you, even though you probably had less sleep than I had. So, Travis, I pass the turn now to you.
All right. There's a card that could really save me here. It doesn't even untap.
Yes, sadly.
Untap.
Well, sadly for you.
That's not the card that could save me. It was a mountain. So, if I play Rowan into this board, what happens? She gets attacked because I can only block with 1 creature, assuming it doesn't get charmed. I can keep things from blocking. You know what? I don't think I've ever played a Planeswalker deck where I just haven't been able to play my Planeswalker, and I haven't.
Yeah.
And you don't even have a huge flying presence. There's no way to block on the ground. So I think what I'm gonna do, 1, 2, I could do that. Just do a couple math here because I can do 2 things.
Yeah.
I think.
Take your time. There's absolutely no rush at all.
Well, I see. I'm giving you card advantage by not stopping your card advantage. So I'm gonna play 2 terrible cards. So yeah. 1, 2, 3. But there are 2 bodies on the ground who next turn I can pressure with unless they get removed. It's not 1 body on the ground, it's 2. So that might matter next turn. If I play Rowan, the theory is now I can stop your blocking and then pressure life total a little more than you've been pressuring mine.
Yeah, this is true.
Maybe. Who knows? Knight to the Keep is a 3/2 human knight for 3 mana. That's all I have to say about the human knight. Other than maybe after with my opening hand, it should have been Knight of the Mulligan. Because
those are your opening hand?
One of them.
Oh, okay.
I'm lucked into that second one.
Don't understand why they put vanilla creatures in these decks. So many other ones to choose from. But it is what it is, right? So are you swinging in with your weasel?
No.
Okay. Just checking. So my turn?
Your turn.
Okay. Untap. Okay. I'm going to play a Thornwood Falls. So it enters the battlefield tapped, and when it enters the battlefield, I gain a life, and I can tap it for green or blue. So I'm going to go up to 12 now.
Life gain.
I am going to feel the pressure that you were talking about. And I'm actually just going to do this. I'm going to pay 2, including a blue, and bring out another Fairy Vandal. So it just enters as a 1/2. I'm then going to move to combat.
Okay.
I'm just going to swing in with the Vandal.
Okay. I have no flying blockers, so it's now a 3 damage, so I'll drop down to 14.
Okay. So that triggers the cat. I get to draw a card, and I get to put a +1/+1 counter on both this Vandal and this Vandal. So now this is a 2/3. I got a 1/5, and I got a 4/5. And with that, pass the turn to you.
All right. Use tap. Tap. Draw. Play mountain. Once again. Do I want to play into it? Because I can do her -2, which would drop her to 3, which would dies to any flyer. And at most, then I can swing. You have a 2/3 blocker, which would trade with one of these. And I'd have enough left to pop that once if I really chose to. So it would trade with any one of my creatures.
Mm-hmm.
And then she would just die to a quick flying crackback. So, what I was going to be more impressed with this is my other choice. When I had, only one flyer to deal with. But I'm actually going to tap for a 4 and 5.
Ooh, okay. I'm desperately trying to remember my own overview to remember.
Prize Griffin. What? 3/4 flyer. You have a 3/4 flyer.
Yeah, but that makes a lot of sense considering the board state, having a flying blocker up. So,
but it was going to stop anything coming at Rowan. It was going to stop that card draw right there.
Yeah.
But right now it's just there. And that was 5 mana.
Yeah.
It's not terrible for a 3/4 flyer. But
you needed some sort of flying defense for sure. So, and I do understand what you mean about Rowan, because with no flying blockers, you play Rowan, like you said, no matter what she does, she's going to die next turn, right? So,
because even if I attacked with him, if you blocked, it wouldn't happen. So, no weasel attacking. Just passing to you.
Just passing to me? Okay.
Yeah. So right now, though, his toughness is 5.
He is a 4/5. This is a 2/3.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to play a forest. So that's a 3/4.
3/4.
I'm going to move to combat.
Okay.
I'm going to swing on both my flyers.
Okay. I'm going to block the smaller one.
Okay. I'm going to pay 1 green and a blue, and I'm going to send the Garenbrig Carver on an adventure. Shield's Might. Instant adventure. Target creature gets +2/+2 into the end of turn. So I'll give that +2/+2, which will make it a 4/5.
Yeah.
And then, because I cast this for its adventure cost from my hand, it's now going to go into the on an adventure zone, which is basically like the exile zone, and I'll be able to cast that as a creature later on if I want to.
That's great. Like, I mean, it's not like going to change standard.
Yeah.
But anytime you get 2 uses out of a card, and at 2 different times.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to do it the one first and then the other one, but still, it's 2 cards in one.
And a lot of the time, they've done a good job of making it, like in this case, it's a vanilla creature. Yeah. But a lot of the times, it's sort of like a creature that does a little something for you, or a spell that does a little something for you. But it's the versatility, like you said, you get a chance, like to 1 card, 2 spells. It's always great. And when they sort of mix it up as to what they can do, it's even better. So
even those 2 cards that were in the Ravnica sets there, where it's like you could choose 1/2 of the card.
Yeah,
you could only choose one. You couldn't in the previous one back from 2013, whatever. Yeah, you could do both at the same time.
Yeah.
But this is nice because you do the one. The only problem is, and I know this is going to come to affect me sometimes, I'm going to not want to play that creature no matter what because I want to get the value sometimes. So sometimes you're going to be too hesitant to play when sometimes just a creature is what you need kind of thing.
There's been time, the limited amount of time I've been able to spend on Magic Arena playing this format, there have been times where I've had to force myself to cast the creature. Because, it's always great to be able to get that extra value, but sometimes you really just need a butt in the seat. So, yeah.
Sorry, my voice is fading there. We did damage, right? We're past that?
I don't think we've done damage quite yet, so. So you'll be taking 4?
I guess, if you insist. I mean,
And then your bird dies.
My griffin, thank you. It is not a bird.
And this lives.
And that lives.
Now, damage is done, so I get to draw a second card.
Trickster.
And then I'm going to put an additional counter on both my Tricksters. And now... let's...
You're not going to end his adventure?
I was thinking of it, and you know what? I think I'm going to. Just for the sake of showing you guys how it works, even though we've sort of explained it already, I'm going to tap for 4, and then bring it back from his adventure and put him on the board as just the Garenbrig Carver, a 3/2 human warrior. Now, this is the only human creature in this entire deck, so this will not trigger the Keeper's ability at all. So.
Yeah. But even that 2/2/2 for 2 mana instant is not terrible.
No.
I mean, it's not like it's, a giant growth or anything like that, but it's still, considering you get 2 uses of that card, giant growth, you hit it once, hits the bin.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. No, it's definitely nice, especially once you have, like at this point, when you have the mana to be able to cast as a trick, and then you can immediately get what essentially is going to be a chump blocker for the most part, right? So, I think that's my turn, so I'm going to pass the turn now to you.
I don't think it'd be a chump. He's going to trade with almost anything on my board here.
Oh, this is true too, right? Yeah, so... Because even the Weasel, even though you can pump it up, its toughness is still only 1, so...
Another mountain. So I'm going to cast Rowan now, only to make you have to choose life total or, attack the Planeswalker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 mana for Rowan, Fearless Sparkmage. The only problem with her is everything is offensive. There's absolutely 0 defensive value. It's not even like put a +1 counter on something. It's, if you're not using her to attack.
Yeah.
Now, your life total is low enough, but it doesn't matter because even if she deals 2 up 1 damage to each of the 2 creatures. None of your creatures have 1 toughness.
But it makes it so that neither of them can block, right? Isn't that the secondary part of it?
Yeah. But I was thinking, hey, maybe a little fairy I can pluck it. Oh, it says 1 less damage, but no. If I stop them, I mean, in theory, you trade with one of them.
Yeah. Or your Weasel. Yeah.
Or you let it go through. And then I only have 1 or 2 blockers left for your whole board, which is still only 5. Well, they got that in there. They're pretty good power there. Assuming you don't draw a second card next turn, which maybe you can Tome Raider up in this and just start drawing cards. But you know what? I'm going to +1 her.
Okay.
I'm going to do it. This deck is meant to be aggressive. Up to 6. Can't block.
Hey folks, Ed here. I'm just pausing the video for a moment because I wanted to make a little editor's note. Travis sort of gets his wires crossed here when it comes to Rowan's ability. So he's using the -2 ability, but he's +1ing her to do it. So it was just a mistake on Travis's part. I'm sure he's extremely sorry about it, but we're just going to move on like it didn't happen.
Okay, and both have 1 damage on it, should you have another bit of burn. So, and both those are swinging in?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I'll put the Carver in front of one of them.
Get in there, Keepy.
Okay, so the Carver's going to go in front of one of the Knights. Damage is going to go through Shenanigans.
Not at this point.
Okay, so I'm down to 9. And I lose my Carver.
I got you below 10. I passed to you.
Pass to me? Okay.
Yeah.
So tap. Draw. I will play a Forest. I'm going to move to combat.
Okay.
I'm going to swing in with my 5/6 and my 3/4.
On my Planeswalker, obviously?
No, at you. And then let me know how you decide if you're going to do any blocking.
No blocking.
Okay, then I'm going to pay 2, including 1 green, to pump this one up. +2/+2 with once again with Shield's Might from the Garen Brigg Carver.
That's it.
So that's 10?
That's 10 even.
Okay, so that worked pretty well. This is pretty much a sort of a clinic as to how this deck is supposed to work.
Yeah.
Now,
this is exactly how this deck works against.
I know. See, I think your deck maybe didn't get off to quite the aggressive start it could have. I mean, it started off with the 1-drop, but I think there were some other things that could have gone.
It was a solid 3-drop, which let me draw my only 1 attempt at drawing a card. Like that's
and this is best 2 out of 3.
Like,
it is a best 2 out of 3 as well too. But I mean, you may catch some flack in the comments about not playing Rowan earlier, but personally, I think that was the right choice. I think you made the right choice all the way through because, as we stated, she was going to die instantly afterwards because of the damage by air. So yeah. And even if I wanted to swing in with more stuff, I could swing in with the turtle. I could make like the Keeper, for example, not be able to be blocked. So,
and in theory, if she did die, she would have saved me that life from your attacking me because you'd be attacking her earlier.
Yeah.
Which, again, then it might have made more sense when she was more impactful and a more impactful target. But I was hoping to have something more impressive to do with her. Either draw like 1 or 2 little removal spells. Because I always had enough to kind of cast her. And then, but I mean, the only other card I had was a 4 mana, so I couldn't cast her in there, which would have been nice.
That's the one that actually becomes much better when Rowan's on the battlefield as well, too, right? So
yeah, but it's 4 mana. So, I mean, doing both at once. So, again, I was kind of hoping, not for a full alpha strike, but enough that you couldn't necessarily attack with all kind of thing.
Hindsight's 2020 though, unfortunately. I mean, like I honestly don't think you did anything wrong because once again, it's easy to sort of look back and go, okay, now knowing what I know, that would have been the better play. But no, I don't think you played anything wrong. So, We're gonna see if you can sort of come back in the second game, and we're gonna be right back with that in just a second. And we're back in this second game of this best 2 out of 3. Travis, you're down 1 game.
I'm down.
Neither of us mulliganed, though I think we both sort of thought about it. And you get to go first because, not to keep rubbing it in, but you lost last game. So why am I ducking? We don't show that. So the hands will have already been shown on screen, so we don't do it the way we used to do it. So Travis, you just go ahead and play. Boom.
I'm going to go ahead and play planes. I'm going to tap the planes. Really Venerable Knight.
Nice.
2/1. Yeah, that's actually a good card.
Yeah.
2/1, and when it dies, I may put a +1 counter. No, put. It's not may. Put a +1 counter on a target knight you control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2/1 for 1 white used to be rare. Savannah Lions. Back in the day. Way back in the day. And now it's got an upside, yeah. It's got an interesting upside because it's Knight Tribal, but in that deck, you can't. I don't think you have anything that's not a knight in that deck.
Yeah, I got Griffins.
There's a couple birds. Yeah, that's right, too, yeah.
Griffins come out of my... Yeah, sure.
My turn? Okay. I'm going to play an island, and I'm going to pass the turn to you.
Okay. I'm going to play a mountain. Go to combat.
You betcha. I'll take 2 unless there's shenanigans.
No You know what? We're gonna be a little shenanigan here.
Okay.
Well,
I'm back up to 20.
Okay, I'm doing some quick math. No shenanigans.
No shenanigans. Okay. In no way were you going to play an adventure card there.
In no way.
No way.
Because I'm about to. Second main phase. For 1 red, 1 of anything. The Rimrock Knight. So he's a 3/1 dwarf knight, which is awesome. He does have the adventure of Boulder Rush. Target creature gets +2/+0. Now I really did want to hold on to because that's combat trick, you know.
Yeah.
But I doubt you're gonna have destroy target creature or anything like that. But even then, so try and do math here. If I send him on the adventure, I can't play him this turn, obviously.
Yeah.
I can't attack with him next turn, so there's 3 damage and losing out. So 2 damage, 3 damage. I think the math was right there. What do I know?
No.
Past 2 though.
That's what you need to be with that. With that deck against this deck, you need to be aggressive. Yeah. So I 100% agree with you. And given these draws, Travis, pass the turn to you. You may have plenty of time.
2 blue, huh?
Oh my goodness.
Draw. Okay.
Now don't think just because I played 2 islands in a row that I don't have any force whatsoever.
That's exactly
that's not at all what's happening here.
I'm going to play the Windscarred Crag to go up 1 life.
Of course.
I'm going to use the white dice
because you need the
life gain.
You need it.
Then Mortal Kombat. Combat is happening.
It's happening. I'm going to take 5.
Jab, jab, cross, hook.
Unless there's other shenanigans?
Nope. That's
okay, so I take 5. So I'm down to 13. That was quick. Turn 3.
I pass to you.
I get to draw.
Oh, it's 21 though. Hey, that's pretty cool.
I'm going to play a forest, which I had in my hand the entire time. So don't judge me. I'm going to tap for 3, and I'm going to play Oko's Accomplices. One of the exclusive cards to this deck. It's a 2/3 flyer with flavor text. Exclusive to this deck. You can't get this anywhere else. This won't just magically appear in regular packs of Magic the Gathering. No, this is exclusive.
It's in standard in some way at this point. Because,
anyways, that's my turn, and I'll pass it now to you.
All right. Once again, we've entered the Magic Land of Fourthlandia.
You are there. Yeah, I figured you might. I am going to put my 2/3 in front of your 2/1.
Okay.
Shenanigans?
No shenanigans.
Okay, so damage goes through. I take 3. That dies, but puts me down to 10. Counter goes on there. So now that is a 4/2. 4/2 that can't block, but still 4/2.
Yeah. Let's see a lot of blocking going up in here. Second main phase, tapping 4 for Rowan's Battle Guard. 3/3 first strike.
I don't want to see that.
And as long as I control Rowan, it gets +3/+0. But
nice.
I don't control Rowan. Pass to you.
Pass to me. Okay, so tap.
I mean, you didn't miss a land drop. It took you slightly longer to get to the extra color that you didn't need, apparently, to cast that theory. Anyway.
I'm going to play an island. because I don't have enough blue on the battlefield. So I'm going to 3/3 and a 4/2 now. Well, I'm gonna pay for 4 and bring back our old friend the turtle.
Mr. Turtle.
I'm not gonna swing in because I'm not insane, and I'm going to pass the turn back to you.
Just like that turtle, like you wouldn't believe. Untap and everything. Oh, word, man. All right, another planes. Well, that does make this pretty easy to. I'm going to tap 4 for the weapon rack.
Ooh.
Enters the battlefield with 3+1/+1 counters on it. I guess I'm just going to steal this red one over here.
Go for it.
Only 3 counters. Like, this is not a great card in my opinion. I can tap it to add a counter, a +1 counter, remove 1 from this, and from weapon rack onto target creature. Activate this ability only time you cast sorcery. Come on, like how much would you need a neuter card before you can say, okay, it's worth 4 mana at
It is a common though, right? So
it is a common. At least it doesn't say enters tapped.
You do get to tap it right away though if you want to.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna.
Okay.
Down to 2. And I think I'm just going to put on this one.
Because I already got one on there, and that way you don't have to get another die, right? That's the whole reason why you're doing that?
No, because that'll make his toughness at 3.
Mm-hmm.
So if you double block, you have to double block, and then this guy goes through.
Yeah.
And then I still get to, do that next turn kind of thing. And I'll each take one of your creatures out. Which this is where we're at. So yeah, I'm going to add it to him.
Okay.
Okay.
So he's now a 5/3.
Yes. And I'm going to go to combat.
Okay. And that has first strike, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You do no good to me as a blocker, so you might as well just...
I am actually going to double block your Rimrock.
Okay. I'm going to order all or damage this way. That's how it works, right?
Yes,
Order the turtle first.
So you choose where the damage is going to go first, and in order to, before you can put damage on the other creature, you have to do at least lethal damage to the creature that's supposed to be blocking first. So you choose this as the initial brunt of the attack. So,
yes.
Okay, so this is going to die, but this has 4 damage on it. I'm going to take 3, which puts me down to 7, which is not good either.
This has 4 damage on it.
This is 4 damage on it, correct?
5.
Oh my goodness, that's right too. Oh, I forgot.
It's not first strike though.
No, it's 2 because I was thinking for whatever reason I was thinking it was only going to be a 4/3, but it is. Yeah, it's a 5/2.
Yeah,
okay,
no. But it's not first strike or anything. Otherwise,
no. Okay.
It would still die in the result of first strike, but
I tried to trick you into letting me keep my turtle, but
no, I want that turtle.
You weren't having it.
No,
you just weren't having it.
I pass to you, sir.
Pass to me
with my tapped weapon rack.
Okay. Draw. Okay, so I'm going to now play an island. Because I need more blue sources of mana.
You got that cat. It's double green. Was that cat double green?
He was double green, yeah, or he is double green. No, it was. He still is. I'm going to pay 2 for the Bramblefort Fink, which is a 2/2 Ophi. Once again, I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it or not, but it's an Ophi creature. I can pay 8, and its base power and toughness become 10/10 until the end of turn, but I can activate this ability only if I control an Oko Planeswalker.
Strictly bear.
Yeah. I'm then going to pay 3 and bring out another of these exclusive Oko accomplices. That is my entire turn.
Yeah, first strike won't save me against 3 blockers.
Yeah, but the weapon rack still has 2 charges on it, so at some point it will be able to. So I will pass the turn to you.
Okay. If I can pull Rowan off the top of my deck here, I think I can win this match. Nope. Play a planes. Tap 3 for Garrison Griffin.
Nice. And Garrison Griffin does...
Oh, sorry. Whenever Garrison Griffin attacks, target knight you control gains flying. Another target, or target knight gains flying time turn.
Yeah.
Otherwise, 2/2 for 3. Sorry, it was not.
No, that could be.
I had like one
yeah.
shot if I could like. But even then, you have 3 blockers, so she wouldn't have won me the game because you were able to play 2 creatures that turn.
Yeah.
And I don't have her, so it's neither here nor there.
I thought you had her in your hand.
Yeah.
You were just trying to build up the suspense. Meanwhile, everyone at home would have seen your opening hand and you had it in your opening hand. So, yeah.
So I might as well give her the counter.
Okay. That makes sense.
Because the next turn, well, even the next turn, then I can attack. Because I'm not going to attack into. I can't keep losing creatures.
Yeah.
Next turn, I can attack into just 2 blockers then, with enough first strike damage for it to matter. Because this turn, if I attack as a 4/4, yeah, I could take out 2 of your creatures, but I lose my 1.
You can only take out 1 of my creatures at this point, even at a 4/4. So you'd either take
Oh, yeah,
out one
2,
of the
3, 2,
accomplices,
3.
or the Fink and, do 2 damage to one of the
Like,
accomplices.
This deck is meant to work off of attacking with first strike, but
Yeah.
you don't got it. You don't got it.
Well, yeah, because otherwise you'd be throwing away the creature, right? So.
Well, trading with 1, but that's not a fun trade. That's my turn, though, and I will pass to you.
Okay. I am going to play a forest.
Cat.
I'm going to pay 2, including 1 green, and just bring out the Fairy Vandal, which we saw before. So I don't know how much extra card draw I'm going to be getting, but I'm going to be passing the turn now to you because, once again, I'm not insane and I'm not going to throw away my creatures.
Not that I'm annoyed.
If it helps, I feel your pain. Trust me,
Yeah.
I feel your pain. So
You have ways of drawing more cards.
I do.
I
That's
have
the
ways
thing.
of drawing a card, and that is waiting for my turn to come around. And my weapon rack's almost depleted.
I miss my turtle.
1. All right. So now I put the counter on him. They both attack. He at least gets flying.
Yeah.
So you've taken the, but that's still 7, 8 power in the air that I got to destroy before I take any kind of hit back. I need Rowan to give her +3 at first.
Now, this
strike.
doesn't have flying.
No, I know,
Yeah,
but
okay.
there's 3 toughness, and 2.
Oh, okay, so I see what you
8
mean.
toughness.
I see what you mean.
I gotta, go through.
Yeah. +2, if you want that to have flying, you have to swing in with a flyer, which would most likely die, unless you have, shenanigans in hand.
Well, we always have shenanigans. But,
Yeah.
but even then, you block with this, it dies.
Yeah.
Then you have to block.
Even if I just throw away the 1/2 in front of it, because it doesn't have trample, right? So.
Yeah. But I have life total.
Yeah.
You don't.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're at 21. I just realized that again. It's 21 here right now, so I haven't even touched you. In fact, I've gone backwards for your life total. Like the song says, time is on your side. Yes, it is.
So I tap my weapons rack to put on the Griffin, because at least now it's a 3/3.
Yeah.
Not with first strike or anything.
No.
Is time really on my side, though? Because if I let you draw more answers...
I
pump
think
that
time's
guy
on your side. No, I don't think you have to worry about that.
Nope. Better or worse. Target Knight's going to get flying. So that is a 4/5 first strike, and that is a 3/3.
4/5.
4/4.
4/4.
Yeah.
4/4 for a striker. Okay. Well, I have to do it this way because that's a 4/4, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna put everything in front of there and then hope, as I clear my throat, that you don't have a pump spell.
Don't have a pump spell.
Okay. So how would you like to assign the blockers, the blocking order?
I guess I got to take one of the bigger ones out, but I mean, he can get a lot bigger, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. That magic number. Now I'm wishing I'd put the counter on him. Because that could have done at least 2. But either way, we'll just choose one of these guys. Probably not the smartest call.
So initial blockers like this, then we'll say.
Yeah.
Because that'd be sort of the best damage. Like get this closest to dying as well too, just in case you do have something else.
Yeah.
So first strike damage goes through. This dies immediately before regular damage. Regular damage is then going to go through, and then this is going to take, lethal.
Hey folks, Eder again with another note about something which is a little bit more important than the previous mistake that was made with the Rowan Planeswalker. Now, after combat went through here, because Rowan's Battle Guard had first strike and was able to knock out one of the accomplices right off the bat before the regular combat went through, she should not die at the end of this combat, because the only damage that's going to bleed through is 3 points of damage, and because she has a +1/+1 counter on her, her toughness is currently 4. So this should not have been lethal damage. Now, this is a pretty big mistake compared to the last one, as I said. Travis and I, once again, as I mentioned earlier in the video, were both extremely tired when we were playing this game, so neither of us caught this, which is extremely rare. Now, I'm sure some folks in the comment section would probably ask why we simply don't reshoot this particular game and then move on from there. And we have in the past reshot entire matches when there's been a big enough mistake made. Now, I can't really explain why we're not going to do that without completely spoiling the match. So instead, I'm simply going to ask for you all to take careful note of the cards that are going to be played from here until the end of the game. And you should be able to know from that why we're not going to be reshooting it. Again, I'm sorry that we made this mistake. We are both human, and in this particular instance, we were two humans that were very, very tired. Anyways, now that that is all said, we're just going to simply move on as if it didn't happen.
And this is going to deal 3 damage to me. So I'm down to 4, which is not good against your deck. So
Well, it's better than you think at this point. I passed you.
pass to me.
Yeah.
I think we have
Anything once
very
the things are
similar
done?
hands.
Ooh, I wasn't counting like this one on. Yeah, you literally can't do anything with this thing once you've depleted the rack.
I'm going to play an island. You know what I'm going to do? I'm gonna move to combat, and I'm going to swing in my Fink, because the Fink can't do anything against a flying creature.
Okay. I'll drop to 19.
Then I'm going to pay 3, and that's right.
Another flyer.
Another
Ugh.
Oko's Accomplices.
The only chance I had was maybe try flying over, but I literally just sacrificed 1 for nothing.
And now I'm going to pass the turn to you.
Now
with a mystery card in hand.
I have to play the slow God, slow rebuilding game.
I like your
Past
poker
you.
face.
It's not a poker because I had a small chance earlier when I had a board presence, but I've thrown it away in a less than dramatic fashion.
I'm going to tap. You know what? I'm just going to do this. I'm going to play an island. I'm going to tap for 1, 2, 3, 4,
Oko?
5, 6
That's the only
for Oko. Yeah. So Oko, the Trickster, it's 4 loyalty planeswalker. +1 is put 2 +1/+1 counters on up to 1 target creature you control. His 0, not a minus, 0 is until the end of turn, Oko the Trickster becomes a copy of target creature you control. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to him this turn. And that's this turn, not till my next turn. So
Yeah.
And then -7 is at the end of turn, each creature you control has a base power and toughness of 10/10 and gains trample. So what I'm going to do is, if I were to zero him, he would have summoning sickness as a creature.
Yeah.
So I'm actually going to +1 him. So I'm going to +1 him to 5. To put 2 counters on.
No, that's good.
Oh, and as well too, I should bring that out. That's untap now. No, I swung him.
Why would you tap?
Yeah, I did.
Why would you
Yeah.
untap? The real question is, do you have 8 mana now?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I do. I have exactly 8. I'm going to put 2 +1/+1 counters on the accomplices there. And then I'm going to hold back, and I'm going to pass the turn to you.
You can hold back. You already attacked.
I keep forgetting that.
It was so insignificant.
Did we mention earlier that neither of us have had a lot of sleep? So yes, so I'm going to skip my second attack phase.
Were you trying to make me think that you're doing me a favor? Like, you know what? I'm not going to attack you this time.
Okay. Skip my second attack phase and pass to you. It wasn't a land, because otherwise you would have. But the one in hand was, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I know what that feels like.
Well, this is just a terrible, terrible waste. So what am I looking at? Oh man, I'm looking at lethal. Potentially, because that can easily be a 10/10. And then you could copy Oko. Because you only copy his base. You have to pay 10 again, wouldn't you?
No, because as long as I do him,
first?
turn him into a base 10/10 first.
Yeah.
Now, if I were to copy, for example, the accomplices with the counters on it, the counters wouldn't count. It would still just be a 2/3. But if I make this a 10/10 first and then make Oko a copy of it.
In order to delay this, apparently, I do need to play the acclaimed contender with 0 value, because that is a griffin and not a knight. So I don't get to search.
Oh, that's right, too.
See, and I would have actually held off 1 turn, but I literally can't. All I can do is chump for the 20, take the whatever in the air.
That's right, too. Holy cow, yeah.
And then hope I get a board wipe. Pass to you.
Pass to me, okay. Yeah. On tap.
Well, it's good to know that even a 3/3 or 4/4 or 5/5 first strike doesn't do much to an 8/8 or a 10/10.
Okay, so pre-combat, I'm going to make sure I have it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I do have it. Okay, so I'm going to pay 8 to make the Fink a 10/10. I'm going to 0 Oko, not 0 him, but I'm going to pay 0 and make him a copy of this 10/10 creature. Because once again, this is base power and toughness, which means it is a 10/10 creature. So now they're both 10/10 creatures. This one can't sustain any damage. It can still die to direct removal, but until prevent all damage that would be dealt to him this turn. I'm then going to move to combat. And I'm going to swing in with the 2 10/10s.
A double block. I'll chump each of them unless you have some 0 mana trample shenanigans. I'd live to see another day, but with the Griffin and the Contender, hit the bin.
Okay.
Hit the bin hard.
So, I sadly don't get to play a card, but I'm going to pass turn to you.
Sadly, you attacked with 20 power and kept 3 blockers back.
Now, as far as I know as well, too, now that he's no longer a creature, he does remain tapped. Not that it usually matters with a Planeswalker, but I think he does stay tapped. So
he does stay tapped.
Yeah.
I can't even block. I tapped 2 for Grimlock Knights, who can't even block. So if I held 1 turn, I would have been able to tutor, but I wouldn't have been able to live.
That happened to me in Arena Game where I really needed a blocker, and that was the next card I pulled. So,
all right, I'm going to make you do it, though.
Okay, so I'm going to untap.
That was 2 mana for the Rimrock Knight. I couldn't even bother with his Venture because no legal creatures of mine.
Tap for 8, 10/10, 0 Oko, make it a 10/10, move to combat. Swing in for 20.
I have 19. You had
19.
And he can't block.
I'm down to 4. So you came very close.
Yeah.
And this, I think, is a good example of what I was talking about with this deck, where if it doesn't get off to like a strong opening start, because I had no extra card draw or anything like that, so it could really end up going poorly for me. So, but still, I managed to sort of squeak out a win there.
Well, I've hit like 5 lands, I think, in a row or something. And like, even if I hit him earlier with his adventure, +2 would have been really handy with the first strike.
Yeah. But see, one of the things that I think to be kind of a shame with Rowan's deck, because it's a Knight Tribal standard deck. And then the Brawl deck, which granted uses cards from a bunch of different sets.
Standard,
but still, there are so many good Knight cards in Throne of Eldraine that I really think that they could have, without making the deck crazy expensive, because that's one of the things they do with the balancing act with the Planeswalker decks.
Yeah.
That's why they don't put certain cards in there, because they want to be able to sell for retail price. They don't want to be selling for $50 each because it's a starter product and no starter person is going to want to spend $50 on one of these decks for like 1 or 2 cards in it.
Yeah.
But I still think that, cut out the vanilla, put in a couple of extra creatures in there that have even any effect is better than just simply a vanilla creature.
Yeah.
I think it surprises me.
Too.
It really surprises me. When I saw the deck lists, some of the cards I thought were nice choices, but some of them I didn't get it at all. And I still, even though they did help me a lot, I don't understand why they created Oko's Accomplices exclusively for this deck just to create a 2/3 flyer for 3. It's not a horrible card. 2/3 flyer for 3 isn't horrible, but it's an exclusive card to this deck. Do something with it.
It sounds like a bad cliche, but that 1 extra point of toughness makes a huge difference.
Yes. Yeah. So, well, Travis, you sort of called this at the beginning.
Yeah, I don't always look at the deck list of both, but I watched both the videos. I'm like, wow, that one actually has like card draw, ramp, lots of combat tricks, which is nice. This didn't have anything awesome, and even the tutor was just, like I said, kind of weak sauce. 5/2 first strike, I don't think is unreasonable for 5 mana.
Yeah.
In red, to get and to tutor. So
I think if you have more of the, what's the name of the card? Is it the one that allows you to search the top 5?
Yeah, the Contender.
Yeah. Like, first of all, just if you remove any of the non-knight creatures, like I understand the 1 bird does help your other knights with flying and stuff like that, but you want to be able to hit knights every single time. I guess, Giant Killer might be the only exception to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, just like a couple more of the acclaimed contenders, and I think it could run a little bit better. You also need to fix a bit of the card draw, and that sort of does it to a certain extent, anyways.
Yeah.
It allows you to filter out, and you're going fairly deep into your deck, which means you can find some pretty decent answers that way. So
he's a peasant, though.
He is a peasant. That's one of the things I noticed. There's peasants. There's is there nobles, I think, or something like that.
Well, nobles, but there's the griffins,
and then there's knights.
Knights,
not in this deck, but in the new set. They seem to have that sort of like hierarchy type thing, like that sort of fantasy realm hierarchy type thing. So
that's rough too. You'd want more copies of that, but that kills your tribal theme. But that lets you, play it instantly. destroy one creature.
Yeah.
And then at instant speed, doesn't say only at sorcerer speed. You can tap down. I mean, that's to get over summoning sickness, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't think either of these are especially costly when it comes to actual dollar value. So, yeah, and either of them could help that deck a little bit. So,
I wonder about Giant Killer for my end up. Because it's 2 cards in one. It's a removal, and it's a creature that can tap down later on. Again, I know nothing about standard and prices and everything, but
well, I mean, I'm very curious to see how standard changes because I've seen some interesting decks with a lot of the new Throne of Eldraine cards. I've seen a Bant deck, which looks really interesting, which uses sort of giant tribal as well too with it, which is kind of neat. And Giant Killer is actually in that deck. And I'm not sure because that is going to be so dependent on you facing a creature-based deck for the most part. Because it's tap target creature, right? So and creature with power 4 or more. And because there are certain things like Esper Control, which was a little bit less creature-heavy and more...
Did Fairy leave standard? Or they're still...
I hope so. Yes, it did. I think so, yeah. Because did Dominaria leave standard?
Yeah, I think so. It's only Dominaria and M19.
Yeah. So we definitely lost one Teferi. So, but yeah.
It's a pretty big chop off of the old standard block this time.
I'm excited to see. I haven't been excited to check out standard because I don't really follow standard. We play Commander mostly when we're playing not on camera.
Yeah.
And when we play on camera, this is the only standard type of play that we usually do. I'm excited for Brawl, but I'm getting excited for standard again on Arena to sort of see what the new meta is going to be.
Yeah, that's my only fingers on the pulse of the standard is basically Arena. We don't go to local game shops.
No, not because we don't want to. It's just because we're socially awkward and we fear people.
Yeah, pretty much.
Except for you folks out there, because even though we can feel your presence, we don't actually see you, so you can't scare us. So we're not that bad, honestly.
Not that good either.
But we still don't. we still don't like going out in public.
Well. So. Okay, we're going on a rant or a side note here. This weekend, today is GP Montreal.
Yes,
and I was tempted to ask you earlier if we wanted to make that happen, but again, sometimes with GPs, I'm like, what are we gonna do but hang out with each other? And I want to say I want to go to that command zone thing and play like with other people like Commander, but I probably wouldn't.
I think we would because we would go to conventions, local conventions, and some other conventions as well, too. And we would become more social when we were at conventions. I think we need to sort of already be put into that environment and then let loose, and then we're a little bit more social. As opposed to when we're in the comfort of our own home or sort of like, our base. Then
we're just Farver's number one. Let loose,
And then we're sort of more still like, we'll just play Commander. We're not going to go to Friday Night Magic. But I think if we went to a GP at some point, we would definitely... Yeah, I think for sure. I think that would help us sort of come out of our shell and play in public a little bit more. So, and who knows, maybe that would break the damn walls.
The damn walls.
Oh no, I could bleep that. You know what I meant.
The darn walls.
The walls of the dam.
The walls of the darn.
And then our extrovertedness will just flow free. We're really tired.
Closet extrovertedness. We're just.
But I would love to actually go maybe next year because they usually have one in Montreal every year, right? I think so.
Every year or every second year. So this might have been the...
because this wouldn't have worked out well for other reasons as well, too, just with general scheduling and life in general. But yeah, that's definitely one of the ones that I wanted to... Because we both went to Montreal. We both enjoyed that city, even without Magic, even though we did play Magic when we were there. But yeah, I think that's something... sort of my goal for, maybe not next year, but maybe 2021, is to actually attend a GP or some sort of like Magic event. Yeah. Vegas would also be great. We love Vegas. Though Vegas
is every year.
Vegas would be way more expensive than if we went to for me it would be than if we went to Montreal. But yeah, so we're hoping to try one. If you have one that's in your town that you think is especially fun, let us know. I know Vancouver has one too, don't they? Or is it Victoria? Anyways, there's other ones in Canada. We are from Canada, so if there's certain ones in Canada which are a lot of fun, or other sort of conventions or something that you guys think we should sort of check out online, not necessarily go to yet, but let us know in the comment section below, as well as too in the States, and of course like across the pond. But that's getting up there in price. So
yeah.
But yeah, if you have some conventions, or if you have a suggestion of a Magic event that we can go to, let us know in the comment section. Travis, I think we padded this enough so that people won't realize it's only gone 2 games.
No, all they need to do is look at the deck list. No, that one's not going 2 games.
The greatest comment that I saw recently was someone who I hadn't even watched it yet, but he's like, oh, it's 30 minutes. Someone got blown out. And it's like, yeah, exactly. And we talked a lot in that game to sort of pad out that particular game. So
Is that the Chandra one?
that was no, that one hasn't aired yet.
Okay.
It was the,
You have to beat that out.
it was Domri versus
Oh,
Jace, because Jace had no business being in the second round anyways. And that was rough. That was rough. So, well, you only said one person. You never said who won. You just said the Chandra match, right? So, yeah. Anyways, Travis, do you have anything else to say?
Nope.
Travis and I are going to get some sleep in our own separate homes, and we're going to see you guys all. Oh, yeah, sorry, before I go, thank you, Travis.
I really like those tokens.
Thank you, Travis. Here, you get some. I'm going to give you some. There you go. Wait,
See, but I have no way of creating a 3/3 golem.
For those of you who are still here, you've probably already heard this spiel anyways, but I'm going to go through it again, because I'm going to be talking about the Token of the Month Club. What that is a little club we've created for the channel where every month we have a new exclusive token that's created by my friend and fellow artist, Larda Souza. He does the character design and the line art. I do the colors over top of it. And we create actual physical tokens on really high quality cardstock. These can actually pass the magic bend test. You can actually bend them from tip to tip, and they'll snap right back without a crease. So they're high quality paper.
Magic cards do that?
Please don't test that theory. But they do, yes. Test it with your time walk at home and you'll see. But if you want to check it out, it's just something extra. Obviously, you're not obligated to, but it's something else extra to check out. I do it through Patreon. It's just easier to collect people's addresses and stuff. And then we're going to mail between 1 to 5 tokens right to your door each and every month. You get to choose. So check it out. Wow, this one was rough. This one was rough. The ending was rough. I can feel myself fading. So yeah, Token of the Month Club. This has been Travis. I've been Ed. This has been the Mana Cave. See you next time.